The only way we're going to stop turtles choking on plastic bags in the ocean is to make this type of plastic a valuable resource to recycle. You can make a plastic bottle, recycle this down and make another plastic bottle out of it, but you can't recycle down a bag like this, say, and make another bag. It just doesn't work that way. It's a different type of plastic altogether. See, people are happy to put their plastics in their recycle bin, but we don't actively look to buy products made from recycled plastics. And without this demand, there simply isn't enough money or incentive to keep these critically important plastic recycling plants running. However, if more people supported the industry at the retail end, this would not only keep the recycling plants running, it would spur more innovation and research into more and improved products made from recycling plastic waste. Wouldn't that be a good thing? Products like this simple, but I have to say extremely effective raised garden bed. It took me literally under 10 minutes to put together. Instructions say that you can use a screwdriver, you don't have to use any power tools, and that's true. You just get a hammer and tap the screws in. And the other thing I did against the instructions was, instead of reversing those screws so that the sharp end wasn't protruding through the two layers of plastic, what I did was left it protrude through, and I just filed the ends off to blunt them. I have another bed that I will trial using stainless bolts and nuts. Of course, will mean that I'll need to drill a hole through, so it might take a fraction longer to assemble, but obviously bolts will be stronger than screws. Having said that, now that I've worked with this plastic sheeting firsthand, I can see that the self-tapping screws actually fix really well. You're not going to be able to pull that apart, and because of the circular type of even pressure, you know, circles are quite strong and they've got an even sort of force all around it. I can't see that pulling apart for a heck of a long time, if ever. This is certainly much faster, but then drilling some holes and putting some bolts through wouldn't take that much longer either. So I thought I would try both ways. I think it's a reasonable cost for a raised garden bed. And it's such a simple idea. It's just a single sheet of plastic rolled around and joined together. What could be simpler than that? So I'm just going to spread these around, roughly around 30 centimeters apart, keeping them just in from the edge. And now another sort of row in the middle here, one right in the middle, say a bigger one. I'll have the eyes facing up when I bury them down. And we've only just made up this bed, so the soil is nicely tilled and loose, and that's what potatoes love. And the way I'm going to bury them now is just woozle the soil down. That's the technical word, woozle. And just bury it down to about wrist deep. So, you know, 6 inches or so, 6 to 8 inches down, and then just cover over. If you want, you can use 2 hands. And we're going to put a mulch on top of this once these are all buried as well. And now this here is my special duckling mulch mix. And it's fairly fresh at the moment, but by the time these potatoes start sprouting and coming through, it'll be about 3 or 4 weeks. This will all dry out and won't be as potent, but it'll still give a nice feed to those potatoes as this bed gets watered or the rainfall comes, and that'll work a treat. And this will also keep the weeds down and allow those potatoes to grow through unimpeded by any other types of weeds. So it does several good things. Nutrients, keeps the weeds down, keeps the moisture locked in. Might give this a bit of a water later just to settle it down, but you don't necessarily need to water potatoes too much until they start sprouting and coming through. Otherwise they might rot in the ground if you overwater. I really do think we can get on top of this worldwide plastic problem, and I think that'd be a great problem to get a hold of, if not solve, if we can.